What's up, kids? It's the Beast, Brian London. I'm here in one of the production studios at the Ticket as just finished listening to all of the post-game sound from Saturday night from Al Golden and some of the players. Just trying to go over what they said. I always sometimes, I wrote a column Saturday night after the game, or really Sunday morning, talking about my thoughts on the game. And sometimes I like to wait another 24 hours before I give it another go. Because, when something's done, you have all these thoughts and you wonder if that's really your true, logic and thoughts about something or whether, that's just emotion. So I give it 24 hours, then I go back, listen to everything, think about it, go over the stats. And I think myself 24 hours later, or a little less than 24 hours later from what I wrote after the game, I think I agree with that beast take. Let's just look at this Florida State game as one game, okay? Not the season in general, not Al Golden's entire career at the University of Miami. Let's just look at this game for 1 second. Yes, in the second half, did Miami get outcoached? I believe they did. Now, listen, I'm not a football savant, but that's just my take. That being said, though, I don't think that's what cost Miami the game. I will go back to what I wrote, and you can find it at theticketmiami.com or caneinsider.com. It was about mistakes that Miami made. I mean, you just think about... how much would you love to have had the blocked extra point and missed field goal back? Right? Then you're just going for a field goal at the end and not a touchdown. Two really dumb 15-yard penalties. I mean, Sonny Adagu and Michael White should be running laps from now to next August, and I should probably join them. Maybe take off a couple LBs. But those mistakes, plus you get the Walford fumble, you get the Stan Dobard fumble. Berrios misses that catch in the end zone. Dorsett maybe could have had another catch over in the other end zone. There was just mistakes that Miami made that you cannot make in a game against this Florida State team that has now won 26 games in a row. You just can't. I don't care whether you think Florida State was beatable or they don't look as good or they're the comeback kings or any of that stuff. None of that matters. You made too many mistakes in a big game like this. That is the bottom line. Okay? So that's the take on this game. Miami played well enough to win. Miami coached well enough to win. Maybe not as well as they could have coached. Certainly James Coley in the second half looked like he got out-coached by FSU's defensive coordinator when FSU went to more of a zone attack and Brad Kaya found it hard to get as much done as he did in the first half. There's no doubt about all of that. You're right in pointing that out. But the bottom line is Miami could have won the game, and the mistakes that they made, Miami beat themselves, and that's why they didn't win the game. Now let's take a look at the big picture, okay? So Will Muschamp is fired from the University of Florida. And a lot of you are writing me on the Twitter, on the Facebook, and the email with smoke signals. Hey, Will Muschamp got fired from Florida. Al Golden and Will Muschamp's record is pretty similar, maybe one or two games apart. We hope Blake James and President Shalala, gets the message. And here's what I'll tell you. Will Muschamp inherited a championship caliber team at the University of Florida, right? They won a couple titles recently. Urban Meyer, has some sort of health issue, and checks out of the program, but then is at Ohio State, whatever, that's a Gator problem. Al Golden inherited a far less impressive program than Will Muschamp inherited. Plus, Al Golden then, a few months after he takes a job, gets slapped in the face by this Nevin Shapiro crap, okay? So I'm not saying that Al Golden is Howard Schellenberger or Jimmy Johnson or Dennis Erickson or Butch Davis or Larry Coker even. I'm not saying that. I'm not here to defend Al Golden. But I will tell you that you can't compare those two situations, so don't hit me with that. That's a bunch of hogwash. Okay? Now, I will say this, and I continue to say it, and no one wants to listen to me. Okay? It will take care of itself. Those of you that have been watching these videos or reading my stuff for the last 3 months know that I say it every time. It will take care of itself. What does that mean? It means Miami's not playing for the ACC championship, okay? I thought that this team really had to be there. Now, little did I know that Duke was, going to go off and, lose one game. But the way I look at it is, Miami's going to win these last 2 games. If this team doesn't show up for the game at Virginia, which I'll be at, freezing my tuchus off because it's going to be 35 degrees at kickoff for a 7 p.m.er, or the game against Pittsburgh, Miami doesn't show up. If it doesn't look like they're prepared, hey, we'll talk. Let's talk, okay? But if Miami goes out and wins those 2 games and ends up 8-4, which is what I predicted they would be at the end of the season, I'll take that. That's a move, okay? Plus, you look at Brad Kaya, okay? Did we find the franchise quarterback? Yes. You look at young players on the offensive line, at receiver. Duke Johnson, everyone's like, oh, he's gone. Well, talking to some people last night, not so far-fetched to think that Duke might stay. Mama Duke wants Duke to get that degree, and he can't graduate until fall semester next year. So, don't be surprised. I know it's crazy. Running backs are supposed to leave, but don't be surprised if he stays. Plus, you got Yerby behind him, Scarlett coming in. There's a lot of promise to this program. Now, defensively, you still got to work on that. But man, I love what I see from Deion Bush. And man, I love what I see from Jermaine Grace. And there's some stuff to build around there. There's some promise with this program. So we'll see how they finish, okay? Let's do that, right? Can we wait 2 games before we're flying banners again and bonfires and calling for heads and all that stuff? Can we do that? If we do that, I think we'll be okay. Now, if Miami goes and loses the last 2 games and it looks like crap, well, hey, let's talk, okay? You and me. We'll have a little discussion. But until then, let's just see what happens, all right? Tough loss Saturday night, no doubt about it. Thought Miami could have won that game. It was fun, though, and man, what a tailgate. Woo! Still recovering from that one. That's for sure. All right. For everybody here at the ticket, please don't forget, you got to listen to me. I'm on the E. Reed Show with Eric Reed and Leroy Horde. Sometimes Ethan Skolnick, my boy Jerron. We're on 1 to 3 every weekday afternoon here on FM 104.3. The ticket, yeah, we kind of ditched the 790. It's still there. It's still hanging around, but you know how that is. So listen to us on FM 104.3 The Ticket. And every once in a while I pop up on CaneInsider.com. So look for me there as well and follow me on Twitter at Miami Radio Beast. Until then, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.